Alright guys, so the whole point of this video basically is to explain how to play League of Legends and what it is. So League of Legends basically is a 5v5 MOBA style game. For those of you who don't know what a MOBA is, it's a multiplayer online battle arena. I think that's the correct term for it. And basically, you go and the game's completely free. Well, League of Legends is anyway. And here's the basic premises of it. The basic 5v5 map is symmetrical, and down the middle splits the territory of each team at the beginning of the game. And how it normally works is, in an average game, is one person will go in the middle lane, two people will go in top lane, and two people will go in bottom lane. But this can be different if you have a jungler, which I'll get onto later. So what happens is, generally there's three types or two types of champions, or types of what they stack on. So for instance, AD, which is attack damage, are champions which build items that are attack damage based, and AP are people that build ability power that basically help their abilities be better later in the game. Generally AP champions go in the middle lane. These could be champions such as Morgana or Katarina or Ziggs. And in bottom lane, in each game, you will need an AD carry. This is the person who will need the most gold, which you earn for either getting kills, getting assists, getting multi kills, or getting the last hit on the minions. Minions are basically waves of small creatures that come out of your Nexus every few seconds, or I think it's like every 30 seconds a wave comes along, and you gain gold by getting the last hit of damage on the minions. Will attack each other basically, but if you get the last hit of damage on an enemy minion, you get a certain amount of gold. And the idea is you have to learn how to last hit in order to make your amount of gold be higher basically. So the AD carry well in lane with a support champion who will either heal that of the AD carry, or support them by controlling the other champions in a way of slowing them down or knocking them up. Basically, in the middle line, to get to the enemy base, you have to destroy the turrets to get there. So you'll start your team on each lane will have two turrets, and then three turrets. The third and last one being the last one to get into your base. The whole point of the game is to kill the enemy Nexus, which is located at the very back of the enemy base, which is just in front of where the enemies or your friendlies respawn each time they die. And for killing these turrets, you get a bonus amount of gold, and you'll basically push that lane. Past the third and final turret, there is an object called inhibitor, which has a certain amount of health. If you destroy that, or the enemy destroys yours, your team with every wave will start spawning a super minion. Will have a set amount of more health than a normal minion, and it will be make it difficult, because they will have to start fending them off, and it's not because they're a lot stronger than normal minions. Minions damage and health also stack based on how people in the game are progressing. Now, there's two more things on the map that are fairly major. First of all, there's the dragon. The dragon has a set amount of health and damage that scales with players over time, and you can generally start taking this at level 11. I should also mention that you can maximum level you can go up to in a game is 18. The reason for taking dragon is so you can gain extra gold for your team. Say your teammate has died and you wanted to buy an item, then you would get a teammate to take dragon. There is also Baron, that is basically, think of it, the boss on the map that you take out at quite a high level in order to gain an advantage for your team, because you will gain a buff which will make you more powerful than the other team and get you an advantage to win, but you generally cannot take this until later stages in the game. Now, there's also two buffs on this map, one called blue buff and one called mana. A blue buff gets you increased mana regen and will get you reduced cooldown reduction. Mana regen is good for obviously champions that use mana, such as Ziggs and Morgana and basically any champion that uses mana. But it also can be used by other champions anyway. They just want reduced cooldown, and no one really has the need for it. If no one needs it, then you may as well take it. There is also minions in your forest. Your forest that you own is down the center line towards your base. These give you extra gold, and the big golems give you increased health regen for a certain amount of time, or give you a set amount of health. This is good if you're behind on farm. Farm is basically just the minions that come in waves. Because what happens is when you buy, you get a set amount of free-to-play champions each week, which gets set by Riot Games, and if you get to play them for a week, and then they won't be accessible to you anymore. Each game you play, you get influence points. These influence points are money you obviously earn while playing games, which you can then use to buy champions and runes and ward skins if it's during October. Wards, I'll go on to talk about now. When you're going in a lane and you're attacking the other team, there's a method called ganking. This involves another enemy ambushing you from the river that's down the middle of the map in order to gain an advantage or gain an extra kill. Now, you can combat this by not going past the center line unless you for sure know it's safe, or you can place a ward which grants vision in that area. You may think, well, why do I need vision in that area? Why can't I see that area anyway? There is a fog that goes over the map called Fog of War, and unless one of your team is there or some other method has been put there so you can see, for instance, there's an ability on one of the champions which sends like a spark of light to a certain area so you can gain temporary vision there, or if you've placed a ward down, then you cannot see that area. There are also brushes placed in certain places around the map. If you are in this bush, the enemy cannot see you unless you go into that bush, or it's warded, as I explained wards just then. So as I said, the basic premises of the game is to kill the enemy Nexus, and the reason that League of Legends is so addicting is every game has different combinations of team champion selections and builds. Some people decide that some builds fit other champions better than others, but some people disagree. But all in all, champions tend to stack on specific AP or AD, which you can find out from hovering over your abilities. What happens when you spawn is this is the only time that you can buy items with the gold which you have earned within the game. You click on the shop icon at the bottom left, and it will come up with categories. I think it's defense, attack, consumables, and magic. I think that's the those are the categories, and they go into subcategories such as health regen, magic resist, attack damage, ability power. In consumables, this is where you buy wards or health potions. Generally, a lot of champions buy boots, basic boots, which can then also be level 2 boots later on in the game, and free health potions. This basically means that you'll have a speed advantage over the enemy earlier in the game, or you can pick an item such as a Doran's Blade, which gives you a little bit of extra health and a little bit of extra damage, but you'll be slower until you get your boots. It's pretty much the required item to have boots on every single champion that you ever play on League of Legends, and then you will upgrade the boots to a different type of boots depending on what situation you're in. For instance, if you were a tank character who, if you didn't know what a tank is, you absorb the damage for your team while you attack the enemy team. Then you will buy Ninja Tab Eyes, which gives you additional movement speed and gives you extra armor. Some champions such as Dr. Mundo don't stack on attack damage or attack ability power at all, and instead stack on health. So you can basically have a hell of a lot of health but still be really good at what you do. So that's a basic outline of what League of Legends is and how to play it. Well, actually no, it's not. Forget that. At the bottom of your screen there is abilities, Q, W, E and R. At the beginning of the game, unless you are a character such as Udyr, you can level up either Q, W or E, and this varies for different champions. Your R, which is your ultimate, which is known as the ultimate, you can level up at level 6, 11 and 16 or 17, I'm not sure which level it is. and this is obviously generally better than the rest of your abilities. For instance, Karthus as a champion, his ultimate is he will channel an ability up into the air, and he will deal a set amount of damage to anyone on the other team. So if your team managed to get an enemy champion down to a certain amount of low health and didn't manage to finish them off, then Karthus could launch his ultimate and it would finish them off and get them the kill. Another thing to note is the turrets that are not yours, you generally sit by if you want to be safe or protected, but if you start attacking an enemy who is next to their turret, then the turret will automatically start attacking you instead of minions. So the only time you can ever attack a turret is if minions are tanking it for you, or someone with high enough health is able to take it while you destroy it. These aren't necessarily destroyed straight away, but in some cases you can be taking a turret within 10 minutes of the game. That's also to note, games last generally from about 20 all the way up to about 60 or 70 minutes depending on how the game goes, but you barely ever see games that go above 50 minutes really, or 55 minutes. Pardon me. And if the game is going absolutely terrible and you know that you're going to lose, you can put out a surrender vote by typing /surrender or /FF in chat. It's also worth noting that enter is to chat on League and not T, as it is in Minecraft, as Colin gets mixed up with. So if your team basically puts out a surrender vote, and if at least 4 out of 5 people on the team say yes, then the game will end and it will give the other team a win. This is generally done when one team is completely outwinning the other, and there's no turnaround for it. The game is extremely team-based, so you need to work together all the time to make sure you can guarantee a win, although this doesn't always happen when people aren't paying attention. I mean, I make silly mistakes all the time, and kick myself for it, and then I think to myself, well, I should have done this, and you learn from your mistakes. There's a leveling system within your account which goes from level 1 to 30, and playing games will basically level you up, and when you do matchmaking, you basically get picked with similar skilled players depending on how many level characters there are in your lobby. For instance, if there were 4 level 30s in a lobby and 1 level 15, then the other team might not necessarily be all level 30s, and this might be slightly unfair, but shit happens, I guess. When you come into the game, if on top of what you've learned from me, you can go into the tutorial and you can play a short game that will teach you the basic premises of League. Another thing to note is your summoner spells. You pick these at the beginning of every single game, and pretty much every champion besides a couple takes Flash. Flash is probably one of the most common summoner spells, and basically when you point your mouse cursor to a location and press Flash, you jump to that location, but it has a high cooldown. It's good for escaping situations where you know you're going to die. There's also a summoner spell called Ignite, where you press the button and then click on a champion, and it basically sets them on fire and does a certain amount of damage for them for a certain amount of time. It's good for basically making the finishing move or guaranteeing that you get the kill. There's also other spells such as Ghost, which will, even when you activate it, will make you gain a large amount of movement speed for a short amount of time. This spell is generally what you will use at the earlier levels, because Flash isn't available until later, and neither is Ignite. There are a few other summoner spells as well, but these are less commonly used unless you're a jungler, where you will take Smite, which will finish off the minions in the enemy jungle, or Baron if necessary. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you out. I might not have covered everything, but it gives you the basic premises of what League of Legends is, and I hope the pictures and my voiceover has helped. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Also, another bit of news, I'll hopefully be getting fibre optic internet next year, which will hopefully update my speed and make my upload rate higher, because right now the only reason I have a low rate of videos is because it takes me 10 hours to upload a video. So I hope you appreciate the amount of time I put into this video. Be sure to give it a rating and a subscribe if you liked it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Just another quick note on the end, guys. 2 bits of information. One, if you need any more information on League of Legends, then the League of Legends wiki is a great place to go, and I highly recommend you go and check it out. The link will be in the description if you're interested, and that and the tutorial that you get to play when you first download the game are also very helpful to ease you into playing League of Legends. I hope you enjoy playing League of Legends, and if you want to add me in the game, my name is Shox Thunder. which is SOSHOXTHUNDER. I know it's a terrible name, but if you want to add me on that, then feel free to do so. Thanks a lot.